Okay, good morning to all. So in this class, we are going to discuss about the 2D array. Okay, so I think in a previous class we have discussed about that 1D array, the same concept, but in a somewhat slight difference of that. So okay, fine. You can enter into that coding. So you can include the header files as include stdio.catch and then int main. So we know that what are all the basic syntax 0 and here in a 1D array, what is the way we will declare that array variables? Okay, so int a, you just assume is equal to open curly braces. You will assign this values like this or something like that. It may be a whatever the value, but it should be in a homogeneous data type. Okay, homogeneous data. So we know that one array is a homogeneous data, which means array variable can able to hold, can able to store the similar data. Okay, in array variable we should not declare any different types of values like a character, float or something like that. Okay, to store a similar data type we can use this array. Okay, it will be considered as that 1D array, which means a one dimensional array. Okay, so right now we are going to discuss about that 2D array, 2D two dimensional array. Okay, so here, so for that what is the way we have to declare the 2D array? So here int b, you just assume. Okay, here I'm just declaring int b. So here we have to declare that two limits. Okay, one is for rows and another one is for columns. Okay, so within this rows and column, what is the maximum number you are going to store? So right now here I'm going to declare as a 2, which means I'm going to store a 2 numbers only. Okay, which means two rows as well as two columns. Here I'm going to create it. Okay, define sorry, the next one. So example I will write the 2D array. So 2D array means the values will be assigned like this: 45, 78, or somewhat like this, 71, or something like this. Okay, so this is the way uh, the 2D array will assign that values, whatever the values we are going to provide here. Okay, so now fine. So okay sir, how to get an input from the users and how to assign the values on that exact locations? Okay, so now here for understanding, here I'm going to declare a for state. Enter the values for 2D array slash that's all. So here I'm going to declare a two variable I comma j. So and declare it as the practice and declare it itself. So now here I'm going to get an input from the user and I'm going to store the values in this matrix format. Okay, so for that here I'm going to do that for I is equal to 0. So what is the reason here? I have initialized that value of I as a 0. So we know that one array will starts from 0th index. It won't start from first index or second index or third index. Right? So defaultly it will start from 0th index only. That's the reason. So here initially I have assigned that values for I as a 0. Here I'm going to check the condition I less than or 2 because the maximum number here I'm going to store 1. Okay, so that's why here I have assigned the condition as a I less than or equal to 0 and then I plus this. Okay, so this I is going to represent the rows. Okay, I is to represent the rows. To represent the column, okay, to represent the column like this, we have to declare one more column, the nested column. Okay, so for J, here I'm going to declare that a new variable J. Okay, that's the reason globally here I have declared a two variable integer variable. Similarly, what is the way here we have declared for I? The same thing. We have to assign for J also. J. Now here within this nested for loop, we have to declare a scanf function because first thing is we wants to get an input from the users. Okay, this two for loop is going to represent what is the column you are going to assign it. Okay, so now here what type of input you are going to get? You are going to get a integer input. So we know that one, what is the format specifier for integer data type? So percentage d. And then what is the location? In which location you are going to store the value? Whether you are going to store the values on the zeroth column or zeroth first column. Okay, we have to declare the location. So right now here I'm going to declare as an ampersand of a sorry b of I and j. Okay, so we can discuss about this concept. This follow uh, this follow is very important. Okay, you have to once if you understand this concept, that's enough. Okay, so you can able to understand the very how values are assigned. So now here you can see an array of b. Okay, so first of all the I value we have initialized as a 0, so it will check the condition. What is that I value right now? And declare here I is equal to 0. Here check the condition. I value belongs to 0 at initially 0 is less than 2. Yes, the condition is get satisfied, and we know that one. So in this for loop will be considered as a entry level loop statement. What is the meaning for entry level loop statement? Means to execute the content which is located within this for loop. First of all, it wants to satisfy this condition. Then only it will enter into the for loop. Otherwise, it will enter. So right now the condition is get satisfied because I is less than 2. Yes, I is less than 2. So now it will enter into the for loop. Here within this for loop, we have declared a one more for loop. Means the nested for loop concept. Okay. So here j is equal to 0. Yes, the j value is right now initially 0. Here to enter into this function. So for loop, first of all, we want to satisfy this condition. J less than 2. Yes. So here you will check the condition. What is the value of j now? 0. So right now the condition has get satisfied. Then it will enter here. Due to this scanf function, it will get an input from the users. Okay, it will get an input from the user and what is the location you are going to store. So p of what is the value of I right now? The I we have initialized as a 0. That 0 as well as what is the value of j? J also we have initialized as a 0. Whatever the input you are going to provide it here, it will be stored on a 0th row 0th column like this. Okay, example you just assume 10. Okay, the 10 will be stored on this 0th row 0th column like this one. This area it will be stored. Okay, and then now still this for loop is in alive only. Okay, it is not to get terminated. So the j value will be incremented from 0 to 1. Okay, so here again it will check after this increment will check the condition. So whether j value is less than 2, yes, 1 less than 2. Then enter into the for loop. Again it will get an input from the users. Right now the I value belongs to 0 only as well as the j value is incremented from 0 to 1. So here it will be so means automatically jump to that 0th row. Okay, I belongs to row, j belongs to column. 0th row first column. So whatever the here it is to run 0th row first column. Example, if I am going to provide a set of 15. 15 is the value is going to store on 0th row first column. Okay, so now the j value will be incremented from 1 to 2. Here after this increment it will check the condition once again. Whether the j value is less than 2, no. Okay, it is equal to 2. Suppose if you are declaring equal to means okay fine, the condition is get satisfied, it will enter here. But here we didn't assign any equal to, we just declared as a less than 2. That the j value compulsory less than 2 only. Okay, so right now it is 2. It is not satisfied. So this for loop will get break and then again The for loop of I will increment it from 0 to 1. So after this increment, it will check the conditions. So what is the value of I? 1. 1 is less than 2. Yes, the condition is get satisfied. Then it will enter into the for loop. So it will starts from freshly. Freshly means again it will initialize the values as a 0. Check from the beginning. Okay. So right now the value of j is equal to 0. So here it will check the condition. uh, 0 is less than 2. Yes, the condition is get satisfied. Here it will enter into this scanf function. And now here listen carefully. What is the value of I? Okay, so it will get an input from the u, and it will ask in which location you are going to store. I'm going to store on the location. What is the value of j? Sorry, I. Right now we have incremented as a 1. Now set as a 1. And what is the value of j? We have initialized as a 0. Here it initializes. So whatever the team now you are going to get from that user, it will be assigned in this location. Be assigned this location like this. You just assume here I'm going to press it on randomly. I'm just saying. So here the 20 is the value is going to store on this location, and then j will be incremented from 0 to 1. After this increment, again it will check the condition. 1 is less than 2. Yes, 1 is less than 2. Again it will enter into the for loop. So whatever that input we are going to store will be assigned on the location of first row, first column. So in this location. Okay. So this is the way the values are assigned to that array. The same concept for 3D array. Okay, once if you are using that 3D means you have to declare a 3 rows 3 columns like that. Okay. So right now we are discussing about the 3D array concepts. Okay. So here we have successfully received the value of array. Now wants to check whether the values are stored on that particular location properly. Okay. So to print the value here, I'm going to use that same formula. You can copy this one, paste it here. So instead of getting out, sorry, declaring the scanf function, okay, instead of declaring the scanf function, you can do the process print. So print of the value of your. So here I'm going to declare a format specifier 1. Here declare format specifier 2. Here format specifier 3. Okay. For the first format specifier here, I'm going to declare what is the value of I. Okay. And then for the second format specifier here, I'm going to declare what is the value of j. And then third format specifier, I'm going to declare what is that index value. Okay, I want to print what is that index value. In this location, I want to print what is the index value. 10, 15, something like that. Okay, for that, b of g. That's all. So now what will happen here? Same thing. Okay, the same thing. Similar to the scanf function here, the I value we have initialized as a 0. So right now we'll check the conditions. Okay, before entering into this for loop, we'll check the condition whether it is get satisfied or I value less than 2. Yes, the condition is get satisfied, then it will enter into the for loop. Here we have declared a one more for loop, which means a nested for loop. Here also that j value we have initialized from 0, 0 less than 2. Okay, so initially the j value will be set as a 0. So here we'll check the condition value of j is less than 2. Yes, condition is get satisfied. We'll enter into that nested for loop. This printf statement is first line. Okay, so first of all I will show that output. It will be comfortable to understand. So you can just run the code. So right now it is asking that input from the users. Okay, so here I'm going to provide as a 10, 15, 25. So here you can see. So what is the way it has get printed here? So listen carefully. So right now the value of 10, okay, we have cash stored on 0 through 0 column. So how it is get printed? Okay, so we can see this form. So after satisfaction of this I for loop, will enter here, and then after satisfaction of this j for loop, again it will enter here. So in this one, what is the value of j? Right, sorry, what is the value of I? Initially it is 0. That's the reason in this area it print as a 0. And what is the value of j? It's also 0. Okay, so here also it is printing as a 0. And here we have declared what is the index value. Okay, b of ij. Okay, we are just passing the index value 0 0 comes to 10. So now the j value will be incremented from 0 to 1. So again it will check the condition as a 1. So here the conditions get satisfied. We enter here. So here the I value is still is in 0. That's the reason here it has printed as a 0th row, and then j value is printed as a 1 because we have incremented from 0 to 1. So here it is printing as a 0th row. First column, what is the value we have declared? Okay, so the value is printed here. So after this one, it will be incremented to. So right now the condition is not get satisfied. So this for loop will be get terminated. So again it will go to the I for loop. The I value is initialized as a 0. Now it will be printed from this I plus plus printed from 0 to 1. So here we check the condition. What is the value of j? Sorry, I. Yes, 1. So the condition is get satisfied. Again it will enter here. So it will start the checking the condition from the beginning of 0 0. So here 0, the j value is initialized as a 0, condition is get satisfied, you enter here. So here I value will be set as a 1. That's the reason here it is printing as a 1. Okay, so and here the j value we have initialized as a 0. So here it is a 0. Okay, after this percentage d, which means what is the first row 0th column value we have to 20 is the value we have assigned as a first row 0th column value. So exactly it's get. Okay, the same process, j value will be incremented from 0 to 1. Similarly, so here the j value I value is as it is 1, as well as the j value is now get updated from 0 to 1. So here it is printing as a 1, and then what is it index value? 1 comma 1. So exactly 25 is the value. Get. So this is the way we have to assign the values for 2D array, and we have to execute the printf statements for 2D array. So I hope you that you can able to understand this concept, how we have to assign the values for array as well as for 3D array or 4D 3D center is we have to include text box. Okay, fine. Okay, so thank you.